Hey YouTubers, diecast collectors, it's Jared White, the J-Man 63, and in today's special commemoration video, which I'm doing now for my channel to commemorate my years of diecast hunting. Now a lot of people sometimes will do special videos to commemorate when their channel is coming up on an anniversary or whatever you might say, but anyway, like I said, I wanted to do this video because I've been doing a lot of years as a YouTuber, and we're coming up on our anniversary in about September, I believe, or it might be October. I'm not exactly sure. I haven't really looked, but we're coming up on our anniversary, and it's going to be soon. And we're right around 570 subscribers, and we've been at it for about 6 or 7 years now, so it's been quite a while that I've been on YouTube and that I've been doing the diecast thing for quite some time now. So a lot of people do like special videos. Now this is kind of going to be a top 10 list of my diecast finds. What are my top 10? Now a lot of collectors and pickers alike, like the American pickers, they'll have some of their top finds that they've found, so I figured what better way to commemorate my channel and all my years as a diecast collector than doing my top favorite finds. Now a lot of YouTube channels, you know, they've been at it for quite a while, and despite the negativity they might draw, you know, being a big channel kind of like mine, it's kind of a medium-sized channel, but I'm hoping to eventually go big. But despite the negativity, you got to take the good with the bad. Despite some of the negative people out there, there have been a few, but luckily I haven't drawn as many negative comments as a lot of YouTube channels, and there's been a lot of good comments out there. So I'm just happy about the people who have stayed on, who have been really good to me over the years. So I do appreciate it, guys. And when you get your comments in, I do look. So just remember, you are loved. So, to all my subs out there, yes, I absolutely am happy for having you guys on. So now I'm going to just quit blabbering and get on with it now. These are my top 10 diecast finds. Now, I will be posting links in the description, so look down below if you want to see links to any of these videos these diecast models appear in. Now, I'm going to be going down the list. So, now this list will be models that I've actually bought with my own money. Like I said, every picker has, you know, what really makes their day, and these are what has made my day as a collector. And I'll be kind of describing these cars in pretty good detail for you guys so you can hear what exactly it is that I found and where I found it. So without further ado, I'm going to crack on with this list. Before I do this, make sure you comment what you think is going to be number 1. So if you think you know me that well, make sure you comment down below what you think is going to be number 1 in this list. Now I'm going to start off. Number 10 is the Shirley Muldowney Mustang. Now this car I bought on eBay. There's going to be everything here from eBay finds to 124th to 118th. Now the Shirley Muldowney Mustang is one find that I found on eBay, and I found it off of Mark Twain Hobby Center. If you get the chance, make sure you go to this eBay link. I might post a link down below to his website, because that's actually a pretty good, he's actually got a pretty good hobby store on eBay, and you can find a lot of good stuff on there. Now the Muldowney Mustang, I did buy that. It was probably one of my more favorite cars, because I like Shirley Muldowney. She's an amazing female drag racer. She broke a lot of records, and she was one of the better of her day. Now this car was like a gold color. It was a really nice model by Auto World. The only reason I put it in number 10 is because when I got it, there were a few parts that were off of it because it sort of got damaged in transit, and I had to have a friend fix it. So I had a little bit of a screw with the shipper, but nonetheless, I found it for like 35 bucks. Not a bad deal when you consider how much the Auto World Legends of the Quarter Mile go for. So if you can find this model for any cheaper than 40 bucks, you should pick it up. Now, number 9 is the Monkey Mobile. The Monkey Mobile, the reason I put it in this list is, yes, I did buy it at my friend Don's stand back in the day. This is one of the very first, good cars that I bought from Don. I admit I did buy a lot of good stuff from him over the years, don't get me wrong, but the Monkey Mobile was pretty cool because I bought that for about 35 bucks there, and a friend of mine was actually trying to buy it. Somebody, one of Don's friends, not really a friend of mine at the time, but I eventually became friends with him through my hunting of diecast and my love of cars and stuff. He actually owned a store named Design and Consign. My friend Robert, who was behind me, he actually was trying to buy the Monkey Mobile off of me. So a couple of years later, me and Robert ran into each other at Design and Consign, and he told me he was trying to buy the Monkey Mobile off me. Well, I actually found a Monkey Mobile at the thrift store when I was buying another car that's going to be on this list. So the Monkey Mobile probably goes as one of those, and I actually hooked him up with one later on. So through my years of diecast collecting, that actually counts as one of my greater finds because that actually helped me make a friend sort of later on down the line, so that's kind of cool. Now, number 8 is going to be the Dale Earnhardt Corvette that I have in my collection. Now, I actually did buy this with my own money when I was working at the Goodwill. I got this off of eBay. This is probably one of the stars of my collection that goes front and center. This goes without saying, it's probably one of my more favorite models I own. And it's a nice model. If you can find that for like 40 bucks, which I think I found it for like $40, $45 on eBay. This is when I was actually working at a work transitional program one time. When I was first getting out of school. This along with the some of the other ones in this list. But yeah, this one was pretty cool. This actually kind of led me into the realm of Dale Earnhardt, more detailed collecting. In any case, it was kind of one of my more favorite finds. In any case, I was happy to find it. Anyway, the next one here, number 7, is the silver and orange number 3 Dale Earnhardt car, Winston Cup 25th anniversary. I believe it was the 25th or 50th anniversary of the Winston Cup. This model I just found recently at Design and Consign. I picked it up for about, I believe, 10 or 12 bucks. Not a bad price for this model, considering how much it goes for. There's a lot of Dale Earnhardt stuff on this list, I know. I mean, maybe I'm saying that because he's one of my favorite NASCAR drivers, but, you know, it's hard to not make a list of these top 10s without Dale Earnhardt because it is kind of a prime piece of my collection. So yes, number 3 silver and orange car, that definitely would go in my top 10 because it's a rare car, and it goes for like, I don't know, like 50 bucks on eBay, something like that, but it's a nice model. Anyway, number 5, and we're about midway through with this list, so make sure you post what you think number 1 is going to be, is the Ratfink Mercury, the 49 Mercury by Racing Champions. That model is actually one of the nicer models that I actually own. Now this model, this 124 scale, now I figured I would kind of explain at the midway point why I'm doing a list as opposed to actually showing you the cars. Well, I've shown all these cars before so many different times, and I figured that there's way too many of these 1/18 to kind of go on a table, so I'm just kind of rattling off a list for you guys just so you know, and like I said, I'll be posting links anyway. So the Ratfink Merc, going back to the list, the Ratfink Merc is one of my favorites I found. I was actually at a car show back in October at the Virginia Fall Classic, and I found this model in a guy's collection. He was actually he's one of my new connections now in terms of diecast hunting. He actually just gave it to me for free as a Christmas gift, and yeah, and it's a Racing Champions 124 scale, got Ratfink popping out of it, and that was actually a really cool find, just to find that, just like wow, for free. Now I've gotten a few things for free. I've gotten a 1/10 scale West Coast Choppers bike from a friend of my mom's Bible study friend. Her husband gave me a free bike one time, but I'm not really talking about bikes, I'm talking about cars, so that's kind of irrelevant. But the Rat Fink Merc by Racing Champions, it's like a primer black with flames, just a really cool model to find, and it's one of my more favorite custom cars that I own. Anyway, number 5, I meant to say number 6 for the Rat Fink Merc. Number 5 is the Auburn 812 Boat Tail Speedster. Now, this model, I found it a while ago. Well, actually, just recently this year. I just found this model recently, and this model was extremely nice. It was a Ertl. I found this at Design and Consign. This was a result of Ken's collection being sold, like the Dale Earnhardt cars, or some of the Dale Earnhardt cars in this list, or most of them. But yeah, this model was extremely nice. I was very happy to find it. If you watch the video and you can ever find one of these beautiful Ertl models, it's one of the finer examples of Ertl's detailed models you can get. It was like a light red color, or a dark maroon red, kind of darkish brown red. So it was really nice. Was really happy to find that model, actually. Definitely goes up there with some of my better models I found. So yeah, I was very happy with that one. And definitely goes without saying, I found it for like 10 or 12 bucks. It's a model that can easily fetch like $50 online, and it is one of my more favorites. Alright, so now we're cracking into the top 4. Now, I will give you guys a hint. None of these models, if you found any of these models online, none of these would be below like $100. They're all like $100 and above if you even find them on eBay, if you're lucky enough to get them on there. But a lot of these models I found for like 25 and under. So, gives you kind of a hint there as what's going to be on here, because these are all pretty expensive. Okay, so number 4 I'm going to crack on is the Twin Mill. Now the Twin Mill definitely goes without saying. This is one of my more popular 1/24 scales I've reviewed in my channel. To say the least, Twin Mill is just, it's an awesome model by Hot Wheels Legends, the 1/24 scale and 1/64 scale that I found brand new in the box. I found those at the yard sale, and this is one of my more favorite scores that I've gotten. To say the least, this was a find my friend Don found for me. Actually, he called me on the phone, or I was talking to him on the phone one day. He told me that I might want to go to Design and Consign, or not Design and Consign, but the yard sale. I get those two stores mixed up because they're kind of on the same road, but he told me I might want to go to the yard sale because he had one of these in stock, and once Don told me that, I needed to kind of get there right away, and I found that along with a couple 1/24 scale sets for about 30 bucks for both the Twin Mill and the 2 Hot Wheels sets that I bought. I think it was about 30 or 40, and I got those when I worked at Bed Bath & Beyond, so that was pretty cool to find. Like I said, if you watch the link, it is one of my more detailed models that I actually own, so that one was very happy to get it. And if you're lucky to find it, it is at least a $120 or $150 model on eBay, which is usually what that goes for. It's an expensive model because it's just such a detailed piece. Anyway, number 3 is the Munsters coach, the Munsters mobile. Now this model, I actually was at the thrift store one day. My dad was at the laundromat, and I walked over to the thrift store. I told my dad I was going to walk over there. Walked over there, and lo and behold, Munster's coach and a few other cars. There was the Monkey Mobile, and really the Monkey Mobile and the Munster's coach, I kind of misordered those with a few other cars. I probably should have put that along with the Munster's coach. I kind of didn't, but really this could tie with the Monkey Mobile as some of my top movie cars. But to say the least, the Munster's coach, yeah, thrift store find. Like I said, if you can find it, you're pretty lucky. I bought it for 37 bucks. Not a bad deal when you consider how much they go for on eBay. And this was the original Earl version. This wasn't the Auto World edition, the new one. This was the original Earl version. So to say the least, that was probably one of my better finds for 37 bucks. Yeah, so I was very happy to get that one. Alright, so now we're kind of getting down to the wire here. Number 2. And before I say number 2, make sure you post in the comments what you think number 1 is going to be. See how well you know me. Number 2 is the Peter Max car. Now, this was a recent find, and this really could tie with number 1. They're kind of neck and neck for me. My mom's favorite's Peter Max car, but I don't know. Number 1 and number 2 kind of are tied for me. The Peter Max car was a more recent find. This was at the Design and Consign. Just found it with a bunch of other NASCAR stuff in Ken's collection. And I was lucky to get it. I really was. I almost didn't find it, and I was about to leave without it until Robert's wife at Design and Consign, Stephanie, looked through all the stuff for me and actually found the car for me. So I did manage to buy this one, and I was very happy to get it. Now this model I bought for like 10 or 12 bucks. Now there's a review of all the NASCAR diecasts that I own. Well, not all the NASCAR diecasts that I own, but all the Dale Earnhardt stuff that I recently had bought there at Design and Consign. So make sure you watch that video, because not a lot of people have and commented, so check that out. But Peter Max, he was an amazing artist, and like I said, this is one of the things you want to look for when you look for diecasts. Is number 1 is detail, and number 2 is a rare paint scheme or different colors in a paint scheme. So yeah, this is probably one of my more favorite finds. I was very happy to get it. 12 bucks, and the model is about a $200 model, so that I was very happy to find. Now number 1 here, number 1, this is when I first started diecast hunting. This is like when I was kind of in my infancy, when I didn't really know as much, when I first started out, when, you know, I didn't know a whole lot. And this is kind of when I was first doing it. Number 1 is the Don Garlits Swamp Rat 3. Don Garlits was an amazing drag racer. As you guys know, if you're an enthusiast of drag racing, he was a great drag racer. He knew what he was doing. Now, this is one of the cars that almost went 200 miles an hour in the quarter mile. This was almost a record breaker. Actually, it was a record breaker. And this is a GMP model that I found at a Denby Hobby Center. So this I was very glad to get. This was when I first started working at Goodwill, the work transition program, when I was first getting out of school. This is when we first moved into the condo. So to say the least, this model really topped everything. And I mean, it does go neck and neck with the Peter Max car, but really, to say the least, it was kind of when I was in my infancy of collecting, and I found it for about 25 bucks, and this model online can go for 150, anywhere from 150 to 180, depending on what vendor you buy it from. And I don't know the rarity of it necessarily, but I haven't necessarily looked in a while. But it is an expensive model. It's a GMP, and as you know, GMPs aren't cheap models at all. And this is probably one of my more favorite finds that I found. Now, now that I've done all that, I want to kind of go over with you, what you should look for in some of these models. Now, I encourage you to get out there. I encourage you to make a top 10. This is kind of my challenge to you. Make a top 10 of what your favorite diecasts are. It can be anything, really. I don't care, but as long as you bought it. Now, the reason I didn't really count gifts or anything. I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to do models that I've actually bought and what made my day as a diecast picker. But if you can, get out there and make a top 10 of your own. And what I want to say is, when you look for stuff like this, you want to be looking for A, detail, and details are really important. B is rarity of paint schemes, or just the rarity of the model altogether. And paint schemes can be one of them, and that goes with rarity. It depends on how many were made. Rarity is good, and paint scheme, depending on how many of the paint scheme were made. And that's pretty much most of them. And number 4 can be like different colors of the model, like the plastics and stuff. Like, it depends, like some of the GMPs and precision miniatures can be different colors on certain parts of them. Like header color and all that can be different factors. So like I said, that's pretty much what to look for. So if you're a good hunter, you're a good picker, like I said, get out there, make a top 10 list of what you found. I would like to see that, and post your videos in the comments below. So yeah, I would like to see that stuff. I would like you to get out there. Anyway, I'm very happy to my subscribers. We're teetering on 570 now, 571. So we're nearly getting to 600, so I'm very happy. So yeah, very good. And like I said, a lot of you have been really positive, gotten a lot of positive feedback, and so I'm very happy. Anyway guys, make sure you leave your comments down below, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever. Make sure you hit the notification bell for more notifications when my videos are coming. And anyway, have a good one guys. Peace out. Bye.